Nebraska recruiting has landed multiple big-time commitments over the last couple days, and because of that, many Husker fans are asking, who's next? So in today's video, I'm going to give you a recruiting update. We're going to go over every single prospect Nebraska is after, and I'm going to answer the question, will they commit to the Huskers? Will they commit elsewhere? And when can we expect an announcement? So really quick, we have a jam-packed recruiting episode for you today. Make sure to hit that like button if you're getting fired up. And while you're at it, please subscribe to the channel. We have a community of 4,000 diehard Husker fans, and I'm posting a video about Nebraska football and Nebraska recruiting every single day. So if you enjoy daily content talking about your favorite team, please hit that subscribe button. It would help me out greatly. But without further ado, let's get into it. Talking some Husker recruiting, specifically who's next to join this 2025 class for Matt Rhule. And let's just start it off with arguably the number one guy Nebraska is going after, and this is Bryson Weber, four-star cornerback out of Texas, a prospect who just recently came on campus for his official visit, and he loved it. He met with the coaching staff, with Tony White, with Matt Rhule. He even fished with legendary coach Tom Osborne. So again, Bryson Weber, his official visit went about as good as you'd expect. Very high ceiling cornerback who can play all over the defense. And when I was talking to Bryson, he said that he's likely going to commit not this week, but next week. He's on a trip with his family. So expect an announcement maybe mid, even late July. It's really us or TCU in his recruiting process. TCU has noted to come in last second and offer some NIL packages to these recruits to get them to come on campus and get them a part of their class. So that should be noted about TCU. And also, he is right next to their campus and he's growing up in the area. So TCU is really the only school I'd be worried about when it comes to Bryson Weber, but I love where Nebraska stands and I expect him to commit by the end of July. So let's get into another prospect that I think Nebraska stands very well with. And this is Will Hawthorne. So if you're not familiar with him, Nebraska just offered him a couple weeks ago, and he instantly came on campus for an official visit. Now, this is the number one linebacker in the state of Iowa. And right now, Nebraska is battling the Cyclones for his talents. Really, I mean, watching him on film, he's a standard Big Ten linebacker. Get dirty, try to bring down your best quarterback and best running back. So love Will Hawthorne, love what he brings to the table, and it's us or Iowa State. Now, he grew up a Cyclone fan. He's right outside of Ames, Iowa, so it's really going to be hard for him to not go there, but it should be noted that, again, his official visit went well, and he loves the Big Ten. He feels like the Big Ten is meant for his game. He feels like he can really go to the next level in this conference. He doesn't feel that same way about the Big 12. So Nebraska, I put us about a 50-50 for Will Hawthorne and another player who, I mean, we're on commitment watch any day now. He should be deciding between the two programs. So you feel good about those two prospects, but let's talk about some other guys that Nebraska might need to work a little bit harder to land. S.J. Alafay-Tuli, five-star center prospect out of Bishop Gorman. Now, if you asked me a couple weeks ago, I felt good about S.J. Alafay-Tuli. I thought Nebraska really wowed him on his official visit. He's been on campus multiple times for the Huskers. Now, that all changed when he got to Miami for their official visit. I mean, man, it was different. He enjoyed it. They have a couple Polynesian connections over there with the Hurricanes. They actually landed the number one Polynesian recruit last cycle, five-star offensive tackle. So, again, they have that connection already. And he loved his visit. He got a couple crystal balls from Miami. And for that reason, Nebraska slipped through their hands. And I don't think S.J. Alafay-Tuli will become a Husker. It's looking like he will commit to Miami. So update around him. But let's talk about another Polynesian player, a guy who I actually like our odds with. And this is Aiden Manitai. So if you're not familiar with him, he's one of the best recruits in Hawaii, three-star safety. He's also a four-star according to ESPN. And, I mean, you watch him on film, he should be a four-star according to every single recruiting site. I mean, he's just an absolute ball hawk, go up and get a big interception type of player. He has announced he will be committing on July 12th, so about a week and a half from now. And really, it's down to us, Washington, and Tennessee. It's interesting that Tennessee's in that recruiting process. They normally don't get Polynesian kids, but they already got Douglas Utu. They might get another one here. So Aiden Manitai, I put us about 30, even 35% chance to get him. Another guy who liked his OV. And man, he's a stud. Nebraska would love to add him to their class. But let's take it to the number one player in Nebraska. So we recently saw the Huskers missed out on Chase Lofton, of course, four-star tight end out of Omaha, Nebraska. But Christian Jones, the number one player in Nebraska, four-star linebacker, looks like for now it's down to Husker, Oklahoma. Now, this is a prospect I do not think will commit anytime soon. We're looking at a fall commitment for Christian Jones. He went on a bunch of visits to Nebraska, OU, Auburn, all over the country, and it doesn't look like he's done. He's already lined up a visit to Miami in late July. He said that he's interested in going to Wisconsin again. So Christian Jones, a player, honestly, I could foresee him committing late October, late November. This is a good thing for Nebraska, however, because Christian Jones, time and time again, said that he cares about winning and he wants to win at the next level. And Nebraska right now, they're not winning enough for him to commit. So if you were to actually decide right now, it probably wouldn't be Nebraska. Now, because of the fact that he's waiting until the fall, he's waiting until we get to October, November, it gives Nebraska another opportunity to get on the field and win some football games and sway his decision. So this is actually good news for the Huskers that it doesn't look like he's going to commit soon. And I'm telling you this right now. If Matt Rhule can win 8 games with the Cornhuskers, Christian Jones will be a part of this recruiting class. So quick update there about CJ coming out of Omaha, Nebraska. But let's talk about some other guys real quick here. Noah King, a player who was supposed to come on our official visit a couple weekends ago, canceled it, but Nebraska's still going after him. He's a very talented 3-star cornerback out of Ohio. He's looking to get on campus this fall for a visit, so watch out for him. But another guy you're not going to really need on your radar for a couple more months. Sean Hemmerbeck, the number 1 player out of South Dakota, will be committing soon. This guy plays offensive tackle, 3-star prospect. Honestly, he should be a borderline 4-star. It's us or Texas Tech. Minnesota's also in the mix there. I like Nebraska's odds. Again, another guy who honestly we should get about mid-July, even late July. Let's talk about Cade Peterzak, the number 1 player in North Dakota. Another player who it's literally down to us or Oklahoma. I mean, man, Oklahoma does a great job on these official visits. They do, just a great job recruiting the Midwest in general. So Cade Peterzak, the number 1 player in ND, 4-star defensive lineman. Nebraska's been after him for a very long time. Now, I think the Huskers have a chance, but if you're looking at these recruiting sites, a lot of crystal balls for Oklahoma. You've got to sway things. He's looking at a late July commitment as well. All right, let's go to one final prospect here, and this is Michael Terry. Before I answer the question about who's going to actually be Nebraska's next commit, let's talk about the 5-star the Cornhuskers are after. So Michael Terry, of course, went on a bunch of visits over the summer and last spring. He was at Nebraska, Oregon, Texas A&M, and Texas. And he recently said in an interview that of all the schools he visited, Texas and Oregon stood out the most. Now, this confirms basically everything we already assumed and knew. I think Nebraska's out on the Michael Terry sweepstakes. Yes, he tweeted on social media, "It's not over, Nebraska fans. Follow me on Instagram." That's all fine and dandy, but Texas wowed him. Oregon wowed him. I believe that's his top 2, and I think, honestly, he will commit to Texas. So another recruit that, if you asked me 2 months ago, it looked good for Michael Terry, but recruiting changes, folks. Recruiting changes every single day, and Nebraska, we just need a win to get a guy like him, and we have not won yet. So Michael Terry looking like he will commit elsewhere. But let's actually answer the question. Who will be Nebraska's next commit? Now, for me, it's down to either Bryson Weber or Will Hawthorne, and I'm going to go with Will Hawthorne. I think he announces later this week, if not early next week. So Will Hawthorne, number 1 linebacker in Iowa, hopefully will be added to this Nebraska recruiting class. But again, things are looking up. Jeremiah Jones committed yesterday. Of course, Houston Kahana Torres, among many others. And yeah, a lot of people were overreacting a couple days ago. We're going to be fine. Trust Matt Rhule, trust the process. And we're going to end at least with a top 30, if not top 25 class. So let me know down below, of all the players I just mentioned, who do you want the most? Who do you think commits? Who do you think does not commit? And hey, if you made this far in the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.